Yo, what it do, Hustle Nation? Something is going on with my audio. There we go. There we go. Hey, what's up, Hustle Nation? Today, we're talking about dreaming big, man. We've got a very special guest on today, one third of the Vending Bros, and we're talking entrepreneurship, man. How these young brothers started a vending business in the middle of COVID that is thriving. So do me a favor, go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. If you like a free business shout out, and make sure that you smash that share button. And if you stick around to the end of this show today, we're going to give you some tips on how you can do the exact same thing. Maybe you don't want to start a vending business, but you need to get out of your own way and get involved in entrepreneurship because that's where the money resides. So let's not delay the moment any further. Let's kick it. Yo, what's up, Ultimate Hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, Ultimate Hustlers, what is up with my microphone today? Microphone check, microphone checker. Testing 1, 2. Can you guys hear me out there? Somebody give me a 1 in the comment if you can hear me. Seems like something is off with my microphone today, but nevertheless, we are here. Welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Monetize My Life studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already gotten your free copy of my book, Monetize My Life, 4 incredibly simple ways to turn your passions into profit with little to no startup costs, you are missing the mark. Let me go ahead while you guys are commenting in the chat, the name of your business and or your brand. I'm going to drop the name or the site that you can go to get this book for free. It's monetizemylifeacademy.com/free book. All righty. And I want to make sure you guys get yourselves a copy of that, because if you have a gift, talent, special ability, which we all do, then this book will teach you the very same strategies that I'm using right now to monetize my life, right? There's nothing that goes on in my world that I haven't figured out how to turn into a profit. And I want to show you that same secret as well. We got a wonderful show lined up for you guys today. We've got a very special guest who's going to be joining us. 1/3 of the Vending Bros is here. So show the young man some love, how they started a vending machine business in the middle of COVID that is thriving like nobody's business. Always remember, if you want to be entered into a free to a drawing to win a free vacation, then comment your biggest takeaways from today We had Lillian win yesterday's free vacation because she's always engaged and commenting on the show. So always put keyword takeaway and then give me your comment for the day, and you get entered into a drawing. And we do that free drawing every Wednesday at noon Central Time. A couple quick announcements, and we're going to go ahead and bring the show, bring our guests on. So if you have not already decided to support the show, you like what I'm doing, you love me bringing financial literacy to our community, then you can become a supporter of the page right here on the Financial Health Mentor page, just $5 per month, and you get more of me. One of the things I want to do is help you get rich. I want to help you. So let me just check the feed and make sure my audio is coming through, because I'm a little concerned about that today with the way my microphone has been treating me. So if you guys can hear me okay, drop a 1 in the chat for me if you don't mind. All right, there we go. So the feed is working. So I was a little concerned. I don't know what happened with my audio this morning. But a couple quick announcements. You can join Hustle Nation. What is Hustle Nation? It is our private exclusive membership for $5 a month. You support the show, and you get things like my course on how to double your retirement savings, right? How to find mutual funds that are paying 13, 14, 15, 16% returns. And if you know anything about the rule of 72, you know that your money doubles every 4 to 5 years if you're getting 16% return. Also, exclusive branding and marketing strategies, the tools and products that I use to build my brand. We go over all of that as part of Hustle Nation, and you can subscribe for just $5 per month. Also, if you know anybody who is renting a home that would like to buy a home this year, then we have a program called Fire Your Landlord, where we can help a person get their credit up, get their debt to income ratio squared away, get their debts down, and boom, they are able to qualify for a house. So let me do this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to bring on our special guest, young brother in the vending business, entrepreneur. Found out that that wasn't his first business venture, but I'm gonna let him tell his story. But three brothers came together and went from friends to business partners to get started in the vending machine business right in the middle of COVID. That alone deserves a round of applause. So I'm going to introduce to some and present to others 1/3 of the Vending Bros, Mr. Josiah Skeet. Young man, how are you doing this morning?
What's going on, Cortez? First and foremost, I want to say thank you for having us on your show. Even though us is only me today, we're very appreciative of the opportunity, and especially the repost that you shared of us the other day.
Yeah. Really quickly, before we get into who you are and your backstory and all of that kind of stuff, we like to start the show with a quote of the day. So basically what the quote of the day is on the Cortez Hustle Show is I like to share a quote that has inspired me or moved me or made me feel a way. If you got a quote, then you definitely share it and expound upon it, or you can expound upon this one. But today, the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show is: the most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire. The most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire. And that's from Field Marshal Ferdinand Foch. Ladies and gentlemen, success loves two things. It loves speed and it loves enthusiasm, man. My man Billy Allsbrook says, if you set yourself on fire, the world will line up to watch you burn, baby. So you got to be enthusiastic. You got to be on fire. And I know we come from a school system that really tries to stomp that out of you. Calm down, chill out, relax. No, I ain't relaxing. I ain't calming down, and I ain't chilling out. I'm on fire, and I don't care who knows. So that is the quote of the day. We're talking the Vending Bros version. So Josiah, What is one of your favorite
Wait,
quotes?
hold on. Before we even, move on to my quote, I wanted to expound on that a little bit too. I like that quote specifically because, being an entrepreneur and, being out there hustling and grinding and doing things of that nature, it's very important to have a spirit that's on fire because that's what leads to manifestation, if you ask me. And, I'm sure, manifestation is very important in this space, making your dreams come true. And that's why we're here now, big dreamers, right?
That's right. I love it. Love it. So what's one of your favorite quotes?
So it's funny, you asked about a quote today. This morning I started off, I made some breakfast and I was listening to, I was just listening to some Jay-Z and Nipsey Hussle. Those are two of my favorite guys in the music industry. Not just because of the music, but also because of, their business acumen. And can you see me?
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit. We might have to go without the headphones. Because I got to hear this, man. Because you like me, I was like, man, as much as I like Jay-Z, Sean Carter's my dude. I ain't gonna lie, I love Jay-Z, but Sean Carter is my dude. So you were listening to some Nipsey Hussle and some Jay-Z because they are some strong entrepreneurs, just happen to be some of the best lyricists and music and guys. But what was the quote that you heard from them this morning?
All right, so the quote that I heard from Nipsey today was, "A reasonable man adapts himself to the world. An unreasonable man persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man." So basically, so basically what I interpreted from that is, you have to go against the grain to take things to levels and to heights that nobody's ever seen before. So that kind of hit me very profoundly this morning because, I see myself as a business developer. That's really like my passion. That's the thing that I really love doing. And, in the process of developing, you have to obviously go against the grain. You have to do things that are unpopular. You have to do things that seem very unreasonable to people. And the result of that is progress,
Yeah, and you are 100% correct, man. You cannot have any measure of success if you are doing what everybody else is doing. And there's no really easy way to say that. And I know people don't want to hear that, but it's 100% true. You can't get by in this life doing what everybody else is doing, or you're going to have the results that everybody else has. That's just period. And they like to say that entrepreneurs are the only people that will jump off a cliff and build a parachute or a plane on the way down. And I know that has been my experience. So, young brother, that is the quote of the day, brought to you by who else? The Vending Bros. They are here, or at least 1/3 of them is here. And we're going to get into your story, bro. So I want you to tell me real quick. Before we do that, let me give you my sponsor for the day. It is EFI Financial Education Services. And for the month of May, which is month of April, which is Financial Literacy Month, we are doing a money affirmation every single day. So here is Milt Jr. from EFI Financial Education Services with today's money affirmation.
Today's financial affirmation. Money is a powerful tool for helping myself and helping others. Money is a powerful tool for helping myself and helping others. I accept and appreciate all the money that comes into my life, as the better I take care of my money, the better I can take care of those who depend on me, the better I can assist those who cross my path. I'm Milt Jr., EFI Financial Education Services. EFI, Exercise Financial Intelligence.
Boom, man, you better speak to your money, speak over your money, speak about your money in a positive way all the time. Because if you respect your money, it will respect you and go out and find more friends and bring back to the fold. So real quick, man, tell everybody who the heck is Josiah Skeet.
Well, first and foremost, I think it's important that I, explain who the Vending Bros are, and then I'll get into myself right off of that. So basically the Vending Bros, we're three bros, three childhood friends. We've been friends since we were about 11, 12 years old. We're from a small town, Hempstead, New York. out here on Long Island. And, we started out being friends in school, playing basketball, playing video games, and, cracking jokes on each other back in the day. And, now here we are, we're 26 years old. We'll be 27 this year. We're all the same age. So, as we got older, we decided that we wanted to start building businesses together. We realized it was time to put the games down and, boss up and, do some things to take ourselves to another level and, take our families to another level as well. Now, me, myself, like I said, from Hempstead, New York. I'm actually from Jamaica, Queens, but, we relocated to Hempstead, New York when I was very young. Growing up, my mom was a EMT, so she was like civil service work, working for the city. She retired after about 25 years, and then the big thing in my family is a lot of people are like civil service workers. They put in a lot of time doing these jobs, and so I thought that was going to be the path for me, or at least that's what they suggested to me. Go to school, go to work, get your pension, and live life in your 50s and 60s, 70s, whatever the case may be, right? But me, I've grown to be a bit of a rebel. As much as I appreciate all my family members and, the people around me and stuff like that, I wasn't seeing anybody that was doing anything. Nobody had the lifestyle that I envisioned for myself from when I was a kid. So for that reason, entrepreneurship always intrigued me. I spent 5 years in college working on a bachelor's degree in marketing, funny enough. But I don't think I learned anything about marketing there, man, honestly. I quit my job. I quit my job at the end of 2019 to start out and be a full-time entrepreneur. And I honestly, truly believe that from 2020 up to now, I've learned so much more about business, entrepreneurship, marketing, and all of those things just by being out there and grinding and putting the work in, having my successes, and especially having the failures. Yeah, man, that's really my story. There's a lot I could go on for days, honestly, but that's really the gist of it. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I turned my mic off so I can, because we're kind of getting a little bit of feedback on your end. So did you turn your headphones off, or did you turn them back on?
No, they're on. They're on.
Let's turn them off and see if we can disconnect real quick and see if we can get a better audio, because this is good meat, man. And a lot of times people don't realize is that when these college professors are teaching business, they've never run a business. They're teaching from a book.
Yeah.
And it's like, I tell everybody, it's like, you can read all you want to about how to do a push-up. Your muscle ain't gonna grow until you get your butt on the ground and start doing some push-ups. I don't care how much you read about. And I think that's where we have been. That's where the school system is kind of flipped upside down. It's like, hey, read, pontificate, study, and not do. No, if you do first, you make some mistakes, then you're more excited about what you're going to go read and figure out how to fix the mistake. And I think that needs to change. And so it sounds like you went through that experience. So let me ask you, when you made the decision to go full-time entrepreneurship, what was that conversation like with your mom and the people who love you?
Oh, man. That was a very interesting conversation. One of the things that I must say I'm very thankful of when it comes to my parents is they've always given me the space to kind of do what I wanted to do and kind of like figure things out. My mom's old school, her family's Southern, Southern Black. And my dad, he's from Trinidad. So, all for that alone, my grandmother came here and, she had to hustle and, set up the lifestyle for my mom. And then my dad coming from the Caribbean and coming over here and having a hustle. So they've always given me, that space. But when I first went and I told her about my plan, of course it took her back. Let me explain what I was doing, right? So remember I said everybody in my family, civil service worker, put in 25 years, retire at 60, 70, whatever the case may be. So I was a civil service worker, right? I was working in a group home for the developmentally disabled from my second year in college up until 2019. So I did about 5.5 years. So, that's like, oh, good job, good benefits, whatever. And so it was like, oh, in addition to that, oh, you have this bachelor's degree. So when are you going to go ahead and start using that bachelor's degree and, making more money, whatever? I was like, I'm going to tell you honestly, as soon as I got out of college, I knew I was never using it. I knew I was never using it. So, I went and I sat down and I spoke to her. I told her what my intentions were. She heard me out. She didn't really understand it at first. But she did, sure enough. I don't know. I guess I'm a good. I might be a good salesman, because when I was explaining to her, she ended up coming back and saying, "You know what? I really respect your decision. Go ahead and do what you do, and just be good at it." My dad didn't give me no pushback. Had a few other family members that tried to talk me out of it, but for the most part, everybody was confident in my decision. And that's what brings me to here.
Yeah, and that's huge, man. That's huge to have it, and it could be a blessing and a curse. It could make it easier, or it could also be a stumbling block. And what I mean by that is, sometimes when you have a whole bunch of people doubting you, that fuels your fire. That makes you go harder, right? And then sometimes when you have people who are, okay, go ahead and do your thing, now you kind of relax and take your foot off the gas a little bit. But I got a sneaky suspicion that ain't you, bro. So we're going to jump into 1 minute motivation really quickly. So right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, Josiah, we do 1 minute motivation. I play a short 1 minute motivational clip. Just write down a takeaway or two, and then share your thoughts on this, because I believe in personal growth and self-development when it's intentional and going in the right direction. What most people don't realize is that everything you consume is part of personal growth and self-development. The question is, are you growing in the right direction? So I like to help start the show with some positive personal growth and self-development. And on the other side of 1 minute motivation, Josiah is going to share with us what that journey was like, going from friends to business partners in the middle of a pandemic and creating and building a thriving business. So let's get into 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
What does it take to successfully create a lasting change in your life? To not only have a New Year's resolution you follow through on, but really have a lasting change. The secret is progress. Getting things is not going to make you happy. That's good news in a tough economy. It's a good reminder. It doesn't matter what you get. Doesn't matter whether it be money or opportunity. All those things might excite you for the moment. Even a relationship, as magnificent it may be exciting for a while. But if you don't keep growing, that relationship isn't going to stay exciting. Progress equals happiness. And if we can make progress on a regular basis, we feel alive. And that's why at the beginning of the year, we get this thing like, okay, I can have this fresh start. I can really do what my soul desires. I can expand. I can grow. I can improve. I can change. Or maybe better than change, I can progress.
You never look at yourself in the mirror and say, you let you down. Until you get to that point, you let you down. You're not brave enough. You want to put it on somebody else. The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm not getting up on time. I'm not going to work on time. I'm not putting in 120% when I'm at work. I let me down. I have standards. I have values. I value myself enough to give 120%. Well, don't do it. That's the problem with some of you.
Ooh-wee. I don't know about you, Josiah, but that fires me up. Going back to our soul on fire, right? Man, that's the kind of stuff that I listen to and start my day with. So we're going to give you first crack at it, man. One of the reasons I like to do this is because we all listen to the same clip, but we all heard something different. So what did you hear?
Progress, man. Progress is the main thing. Progress is what it's all about. And I can relate to that a lot because it talks about like being very hard on yourself. I'm very hard on myself. You know, if I see things not going in a particular way that I want it to go, you know, I take 100% accountability for it. So that means whether it's something in the vending machine business, something in my personal life, something in another endeavor that I'm a part of and doing, you know, progress is very important. So the thing that I don't think a lot of people acknowledge with progress is that progress entails a lot of ups and it also entails a lot of downs. Whereas I think a lot of people just expect 100% trending upward. And I've learned, especially in this past year and a half, you know, like I said, quit my job, you know, just been doing my own thing, full-time entrepreneur now. So I've definitely, I can definitely attest to that. So yeah, progress, man, progress.
Yeah, I think that was one of the main things I had, because that's lasting change. And I think a lot of times we don't define what we want. It's like, I want to change. No, but I want to change and move in the right direction. That's where the progress thing comes in, because I could change right now, Josiah. My waistline could go from 36 to 44. That's change, right? But is that progress? No, that ain't progress. Because I'm not trying to get bigger. I'm trying to get smaller, right? So a lot of people are not deliberate about, okay, yeah, you keep talking about change, but be specific about that change. And man, accountability, man, stop blaming other people and taking the victim mentality that somebody else is responsible for your shortcomings or your failures or your fall. Man, it is 100% my fault. Everything, right? I heard Gary Vee say one time, he said, if I walk outside and it's raining, somehow that's my fault, right? I want to make everything my fault, because here's the flip side of making everything your fault and taking full responsibility. That means you got responsibility to fix it. That means if it's your fault that it's broken, then instead of blaming, you can take that same accountability and flip it and say, okay, if I broke it, then I can fix it. If you're blaming somebody else and they broke it, you don't know whether or not they even have the capacity to fix it or the will to fix it, right? So, man, be accountable. That's one of the things. I have 5 sons, Josiah. My youngest is 19. And I'm always telling them that the number one thing a man has to be is responsible. And in that being responsible is accountability. You got to own your stuff, man. Hey, you did it or you didn't do it.
That's 100% true. And I like what you said about being deliberate, being intentional, because, that's something that I'm always talking about, always, trying to, instill in, my partners and stuff when we're talking and having conversations. We have we have regular meetings, and, it's important for us when we're having those meetings to sit down and say, yo, this is what we're going to do this month. This is what we plan to do for this quarter. Like at the end of, or I'll say the beginning of this month, we sat down and had a quarterly meeting where we looked over everything that transpired in the first quarter. We made plans for things that we want to do this quarter. And, we're always just looking ahead. I feel like as an entrepreneur, as a man, as a person that's very big on accountability and setting goals is extremely important. And if you're going to set goals, you got to be extremely intentional about everything you want and then make it happen. That's manifestation, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My mom, who's a minister, she floored me one day, Josiah. We're talking, and she's like, I need you to help me with my podcast. I want to start an online ministry. And she's always talking about the power of the spoken word, right? And she hit me with this one day and knocked me on my butt. She said, the will of God is voice activated. I'm like, wait, what? She said, the will of God is voice activated. You can think it all you want to, but there's no belief in it until you say it out your mouth, because we think a lot of stuff, but only the stuff we believe will we have the courage to actually speak. And that activates that will of God. That activates that manifestation. That activates, that's the seed into the universe. And I like to say all the universe knows how to do is say yes.
Yeah.
What are you giving it to say yes to? Man, that was dumb of me. You say, yes, that was dumb. And it shows you other things that validates that what you said. You said, man, that was a smart move I made there. The universe says, yes, it was a smart move. And it shows you something that validates that. So it's amazing. I see Lillian Blanchard is in the building this morning. She is actually the winner of our free vacation yesterday. So I am going to send you a short video where you see all of the destinations you can choose from, and we're going to get you your free vacation voucher. Lillian, thank you so much for being a loyal and consistent supporter of the show. So let's walk back a little bit. And COVID happened, right? And in the midst of quarantine, you guys decide to start a business. So how did the conversation happen with your brothers? And as you guys start to build and bring it to, walk us through that whole process from the inception of the thought to actually making it a reality.
Okay. Well, basically at this time, pre-COVID, right before COVID, I should say, there's a lot of life changes going on. I was quitting my job, full-time entrepreneurship. I got to figure out how to survive. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. Now, in the first quarter, for me personally, I was expecting that I was going to be doing real estate. I thought I was going to be a real estate wholesaler. I found some success doing that in 2019 when I started my first business. And so, logically speaking, I'm like, I'm about to quit my job. This is what I'm going to be doing. COVID came, kind of wiped those plans out because, my real estate investing was out of state. So now, COVID's here, travel restrictions, things of that nature, can't really get back and forth. Also, I just wanted to do something. I wanted to be able to do things from home as well. I wanted to be able to do things here. And, I wanted to do things with, my people, my family, friends. I feel like the best business partners for you to have are your family and friends. I think people talk down on that notion a lot because they talk about, people, you can't trust this, that, and the third. But realistically, some of the biggest businesses out here are family owned. And so I think that, that's a mentality to adopt. So we came together, I want to say in January, February, probably. And we said, it's time to start making some money together. What are we going to do? This was right before COVID. We saw it coming, but we didn't see it coming like this. All in all, we were fearless. We weren't concerned too much. We were like, yo, it's three of us. We're going to come together, put our brains together. We're going to push each other, and we're going to make things happen regardless. So we sat, we deliberated, we thought about it. What can we do? It's three of us. None of us has like a ton of money, but we all want to build a business. So me, I'm thinking, resourcefulness. I'm thinking this is our first business together. I actually have another business with one of the partners, Mansur. We call him, Mansur. So I told you we have a party promoting business. We started back in 2017 with some other friends. So we kind of have a bit of a history doing business together. Dion, this was his first business venture, but we've all been friends for the longest. So we all wanted to do this together. So like I said, I'm thinking resourcefulness. What can we do? We thought about real estate again. We thought about like logistics companies and the trucking industry, things of that nature. We thought about several things. And then ultimately we said, hey, you know what? We were seeing it a lot at this time. Last year, beginning of the year, we were just seeing a lot about the vending machine. I don't know why. It was just in our face. Maybe it was a sign. Maybe it was just meant to be for us to get into this. But it was in our face a lot. And so we were very intrigued by it. We wanted to know more about it, learn more about it. And as we started to look more into it, we realized that this business is extremely similar to the real estate industry. The reason being, you buy a vending machine like you buy a rental property, right? You stock it with snacks and drinks as if you had a rental property that you place tenants in, and you collect monthly passive income as if you were collecting rent from those tenants in your house, right? So, like I said, resourcefulness, it's a lot easier to get involved in the vending business than it is to go out there and just start buying houses, And so, funny enough, shortly after we made this decision, we saw an interview, and in that interview, we learned a lot. It was a person that's in the vending machine industry, They had put out like a course or whatever. And so we had already started our research. We see the courses out there. We're like, yo, let's do it. Let's take the course, read the book, and just get busy, take action immediately. And at this time, regulations and restrictions are increasing for COVID. So we're like, wow, like, what are we going to do? We weren't going to stop though. That wasn't in the plans. We said, we gotta figure out how we can make this work. The world's not going to be like this forever. At that time, we thought that the pandemic was going to be shorter than what it ended up being. But ultimately, we were able to start anyway. We were able to get started right in the middle of things, like right before the summer started. We were able to get into it. So
that's now, Josiah, you gave us the powder puff version. You're not gonna tell me that, that everything went that cotton picking smoothly for three brothers, one with no experience, one with two other businesses that they're running at the same time, one a new full-time entrepreneur. Y'all just came and tiptoed through the tulips and poof, you got it.
All right, so let me tell you.
So let's rewind a little bit.
Okay.
I know the decision. I know you had other things on the table, right? Did everybody just immediately say, vending is it? Or did somebody have to be convinced that, okay, while that could make us some money, that's going to cost us a lot of upfront money. Let's go this route, kind of, what was those initial meetings like before y'all even came to the decision that vending? I know you all were weighing a lot of options. Was there some knockdown, drag out discussions about, man, my idea is the best? Because I've done this with some friends and that's exactly how it was.
Yeah. I'll be honest, man. It's three of us. We're three different personalities, but we mesh very well together. So of course there was some back and forth. Now I think of it, it was probably some back and forth, mostly coming from me. But I was very persistent about the vending machines, and I know that like Mansur in particular, he wanted to. He was more interested in something that was a little bigger, and Dion was more so. He was open to whatever was presented, really. So there was some back and forth there. Ultimately, like I said, because of the fact that I was thinking resourcefulness, this is going to cost us less than a lot of those other options, and I was like, let's get this started. And everybody was already on board with it. We all came to the table understanding vending machines was a very possible thing for us. But it was just some natural back and forth discussions about what we should do. And so we had a little
Gotcha. And I'm familiar with that space because one of the families that I coach is actually in the vending business. You might have heard of Mikey, the kid who knows the biz. He was the youngest vending machine business owner in the country.
He's like 13, right?
Yeah. Well, he just celebrated 14. His birthday was yesterday, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So he started his vending machine business when he was 7. So, and he's been doing this thing, wrote a book about it and all that whole 9 yards. So I got very familiar with the industry as helping them with their branding and their marketing and kind of growing as entrepreneurs and expanding from that space. But you're right, man, a very, very underrated business model that has a low barrier of entry and solid upside. So you're right about that. When you guys decided on that being the passive income business, what was the well, let's do this. We're going to take a break. And on the other side of this break, because I know you are like me, you're passionate about not just winning yourself, but helping other people win. Right. So we're going to talk about whose decision was it to put out the ebook and start educating others on how to get into the vending space and the success that you guys are having. So we're going to take a quick break on the Cortez Hustle Show. On the other side, we're going to talk to Josiah about some of the initial startup costs, how they got the ball rolling, where they are now with the business, and now adding to the digital component of the ebook, where they're actually teaching other people how to be successful. But before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell y'all about our financial makeover program. If you want to transform your finances, this is how to do it. Keep it locked right here.
Money. Who took it? How can I get it back? How can I keep it? How can I make more of it? How can I get it to work for me? These are just a few of the questions millions of hardworking Americans ask themselves every day. This is also why MWR Financial has created the Complete Financial Makeover, a done-for-you financial success system that provides everything you need to save, make, and grow your money. Imagine what your life would look like if you paid less in taxes. You could lower your monthly bills. Your credit scores were amazing, and you were able to eliminate all your debts in record time, while being able to make more money than you ever thought possible with a team of financial experts that will help you save and invest like the pros all at the same time. Sounds amazing, right? Well, what if I told you there's a realistic, affordable way to make all of this happen that guarantees your success with no risk to you? You'd think I was crazy, or this is another one of those fancy sales pitches, right? Well, believe it or not, this is real, and thousands of people just like you are winning the money game like never before. You see, we figured out how to help everyone, regardless of their current financial position, lower their taxes, debts, and monthly bills, while increasing their credit scores, income, and investments all at the same time, without them having to become financial experts, because our experts do all the work. The only thing missing is you. So, what are you waiting for? Your money's not going to fix itself or magically start growing unless you do something about it. And with our risk-free guarantee, the only way you can lose is if you choose not to participate. With that said, get back to the person that shared this information with you. Have them show you a full presentation and start your complete financial makeover today, so you too can create your own before and after financial makeover success story.
That's what we do, people. We help people win the money game around here, man. You want to secure the bag, as the young folks say. You got to lower your taxes, get out of debt, and start getting your money to work for you. And I want to help you do that. So comment keyword makeover or text keyword makeover to 314-874-6887, and I'll get you more information on how we're helping people make over their financial situation. Very similar to the way Josiah and the Vending Bros are making over their financial situation through entrepreneurship, man. There's nothing like the talk about this from your perspective, because I don't think people get it. You're a full-time entrepreneur now. The sense of pride and fulfillment that comes with having an income that you own and control. What does that feel like for you?
Man, it's great. It's great seeing results, positive results stemming from your labor, your work. It's just so satisfying. It's like accomplishing any goal. Well, it's not like accomplishing any goal, because when you accomplish the goal, you realize that you did it for yourself and for your family. Whereas, you might have been a kid going to school and getting good grades for your parents or whatever, so that, they can say, hey, my kid got an A and this, that, and the third. It's just very rewarding to, see the fruits of your labor. That's just that's extremely powerful in itself, man.
Yeah, man, that pride of ownership is underrated.
Yeah.
Just like the difference between somebody who owns a home and rents a home, there's a different level of pride in the people who own. There's a different level of pride from people who own businesses and then people who have jobs. And this is no disrespect to anybody who's still working a job. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's another level that you guys can experience if you get on this entrepreneurial journey.
I was going to say that I actually had an experience that I had an experience like this, which contributed a lot to, why I decided to take that leap and just be a full-time entrepreneur. As I said, I was doing real estate wholesaling prior to leaving my job. So I started this business in 2019. That was my last year of working. And I'm gonna tell you, I literally made money from nothing. Like I saw money come from thin air, because I'm going to explain the real estate wholesale process really quick. Basically, you find an off-market property, you reach out to the owner, you say, hey, I want to buy your house. You put that house under contract, and then what you do is you go into the market and you sell that contract. You reach out and you find buyers on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, or wherever in the world somebody that has cash may be that's interested in buying this property and investing in this property. So I was able to get that house under contract for $0. It was just a handshake agreement. We went, met, signed a contract, and that was that. And then I took it, and then I flipped the contract, and I think I made it was about like almost $4,000 I did off of that, and it was a house flip. And that right there was, I saw the power of that, and I was like, this is different. This is like nothing ever. Like graduating college didn't feel like this. Getting my first paycheck didn't feel like this. It was just different. And I think from there, my mindset was just took off. Off.
Because you made that money from your intellectual capital.
Yes.
Not your labor. That wasn't a physical thing. That was smarts, understanding an industry, understanding a process, understanding what to look for. That was intellectual capital. And we often hear about this 1.2, $1.8 trillion spending power that we have as Black people.
Yes.
What do you imagine the intellectual capital among us is, though? That's where we're missing the mark. And especially with this tool that we have called the internet, right? It allows us, it has literally leveled the playing field. And that's a great segue into what you guys are doing now, adding another passive stream of income with the ebook. And I'm going to share this ebook with you guys. I'm going to drop this link. I want all of you guys to go and grab this ebook. Even if you do not want to start a vending machine business yourself, grab the ebook and give it to a young person in your life and help them understand that they can start a passive income business in the vending space. So you guys talk about first, before we get into the ebook, you guys started the business, excited, then COVID hit, regulations changed. Now, all of a sudden, you guys got to make a slight pivot, but you were determined. And now, where are you with the vending business in terms of how many machines you guys got, your locations and that kind of stuff? And where do you see yourself in the next 6 months just with the vending business?
Okay. Well, basically, we got started back in, we officially became a legal entity in March 17th, 2020. That was our birthday. And so we had our first machine placed by May of 2020. So between that period of March to May, we were just doing a lot of scouting, just hitting the ground and contacting different locations and, marketing ourselves, advertising our services, things of that nature. In the process, we had, started to put our dealings on social media. At this time last year, we just saw like a boom in business and entrepreneurship being exposed on social media. So many people suddenly started getting into it. So many people started paying attention to different things. And, we were a part of that for the vending space. So, we're getting all this traction. We have like maybe one vending machine or two vending machines at this point, and people are just reaching out to us nonstop, left and right, asking us questions. How do we do this? How do we do that? They're interested in our story. They're inspired by the things that we're doing. So we went ahead, and I'll say from May to September, we had acquired probably 7 machines, 8 machines, something like that. So, we were just doing our thing. And what happened was, when we got to that point, like I said, from May to September, we could have just kept going. We could have continued to acquire machines, continued to go crazy. But what happened was, we said, we want to take a break from expanding our route. We want to optimize our current route, make it more efficient. This way, we're not coming out of pocket to continue to put back into our business. You want to let things kind of normalize. When you're moving at a very fast pace, it's going to cost you a lot. On the upfront, you want to be in a position where your business is reinvesting into itself. So that's kind of the point that we're at right now. We let go of one of our locations. We sold one of our locations. No, the location was closing, so we sold the machine at the top of the year. And so right now we have, is it 6 or 7 locations? I think it is something like that. Yeah, that's what it is. 6 locations. And over the next 6 months, our plan is to double our route. So we have the 6, and by the end of the year, I want to say, even if not double, we want to be sitting comfortably on maybe 10 to 12 machines. And we have some other ideas for expansion as well. We have some other services that we want to incorporate and introduce over these next few months as well.
Gotcha. I love it. I love it. And guys, if you have not gone to the link and gotten your free copy of Monetize My Life, what he slid in there real stealthy is, as we were doing this and exposing our brand, just because we want the brand to grow and we want more locations, people started asking us, how did you get your first vending machine? How did you get your first location? What kind of contracts are you guys using? What is your marketing? Where do you get your snacks from? How often do you fill the machines? And all of that kind of stuff. And again, entrepreneurship is simply problem solving. Entrepreneurs simply get paid to solve problems. Those people had problems. Whose idea was it to solve the problem via an ebook? Hey, we're just going to write an ebook and we're going to show y'all exactly how you can get started in the vending machine business yourself.
Exactly. And that's the thing, right? We had one machine and people were reaching out to us left and right, asking us a ton of questions. We're very new to the industry at this point. Even now, being a year into the industry, we are still relatively new. But at this time, we could have easily said, you know what, let's just put a book together, put a course together, and put it out to the people, even though, they don't got to know what we're doing behind the scenes. They don't got to know that we only have 1 machine, 2 machines at this point. And we could easily put out a book within our first year, within those first few months, because the demand was just very high. But what we wanted to do was, we wanted to actually experience it. We wanted to actually grow. We wanted to actually see some results. We wanted to actually grind and put in the work before we turned around and said, hey, here's a book, here's a course, here's all of the information. This is how we did what we did. And, unfortunately, some people choose to go that route. Not just in, this business, and, across the board. You have a lot of people that, they wake up one day, they're entrepreneurs, business owners, whatever, and they immediately just want to, teach people. And what we realize is there's no longevity. There's no longevity in doing that. You actually do a disservice to yourself. You become non-credible, and people just aren't going to believe in you. We saw that we were really inspiring people. People were really, people really appreciated us sharing our story. It's 3 of us, number one. We're 3 Black men at that. And we're entrepreneurs, business owners, doing something at a time where so many people in the world had lost hope. You know what I'm saying? And so our book, when we put our book together, we wanted to highlight the fact that we did this during a pandemic, during a time when everybody, all odds were against us. The chances of this happening, if you would have asked somebody else, they would have been like, your chances are pretty low. You can't do this right now. But as I said earlier, being an entrepreneur, you have to be a problem solver. So, we saw a problem, and we decided to solve it. And also the one last thing I want to say before I turn it over to you. The problem being that at this time, right, last year in March, whatever, when the pandemic was starting, people are being a lot more hands-off. People don't want to touch things. They don't want to be in people's faces. So that's a problem, right? Vending machines, it's 100%, it's only the machine and you. You don't have to come in contact with anyone. You don't got to worry about anybody coughing in your face or anything like that. So, we figured that it just made sense.
Yeah. And some people would have seen the pandemic as a problem. You guys saw it as no, this is an opportunity. People would rather just do a machine and put their money in a machine, swipe their card, get their stuff and go, than have to exchange money with a human being. I love it. I love it. I love it. Real quick, Josiah, we do a segment on the Cortez Hustle Show called Freestyle, because I know you got bars, young man. No, not that kind of freestyle. As I'm building this media empire that will one day rival Ted Turner and Walt Disney, I realize I don't always ask the right questions, and the conversation doesn't always evolve to get everything in. So I want to give you an opportunity in 90 seconds to tell the people anything on your heart that you want to tell them. So that's why we call it freestyle. So then after that, we'll tell them how they can connect with you guys and all that stuff. So hit them with your 90-second freestyle, brother.
All right. So basically, to be successful in anything that it is that you want to be successful in, it's very, very important to take action. I take it so seriously that I got it tattooed on myself. If you see there, I have a tattoo that says take action. So that's my daily reminder to myself that I need to get up and get busy and get started. Starting the vending machine business, it's not something that's flashy and something that's going to pop off the page when you first look at it, but it is something that can be very lucrative. There are people in this industry that are making millions of dollars every single year. And even if you're a person that just wants to, if you have a day job or something, everybody needs additional income. We're seeing that that's regular nowadays. Multiple streams of income is becoming a necessity. It's no longer really becoming an option. So doing something, not only do you take ownership in it, not only do you develop a sense of pride, but it also helps you to live a life that you want to live. And like I said, to be successful in whatever it is that you want to do, you have to take action. That is so important. And when you take action, you have to embrace the journey. Always look forward to the journey. That means look forward to the highs, look forward to the lows, learn from everything, and just be persistent. Be intentional so that you know exactly where you're going, know where you want to head, and your dreams will come true as long as you take action. Here I am now. I left my job right before the pandemic. Sometimes I'm like, sheesh, I wish I got fired so I could have got some of that unemployment that they were giving to everybody.
Right.
And I'm living proof. You can do the things that you want to do. Just take action. I wake up every day and I'm smiling. I'm excited to do the things that I'm doing. Even though, you're going to have your ups and you're going to have your lows. You're going to have your ups and your downs. But just stay persistent, take action, manifest those dreams, man.
Take action. Click on the link I just put in the chat and grab the brothers' ebook, man. And they are at the Vending Bros across all social media platforms. We're at the top of the hour, brother. I appreciate you for your time. I'm gonna have to get you guys back on all three of you, because you know what they say, man. There's three sides to every story. There is Josiah's side, there is the other brother's side, and there is the truth. So until we talk to you guys next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it. Each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.
All right.
But you've got to overcome fear if you